Hello and welcome to Football Fanatics. Today we're going over what happened in the Hall of Fame game and should you care about the players, etc. So you got Mason Rudolph, Dwayne Haskin, and Dobbs. Pardon that first name failure. At Pittsburgh quarterback, and this is really the main reason that they won is because the backup quarterback for the Steelers, they have two solid backup quarterbacks, while as DiNucci is probably the best backup, or maybe even Gilbert, but DiNucci's the high upside guy. You don't have that high level of backup upside, and that's why if you look at the score in the second half, as the Steelers were going through their roster, they just have a deeper roster where they have such a, and it's hard to stop looking at or get through all their guys before you run out of guys on Dallas. So running the ball, nothing really to pay attention to here, except for Najee Harris taking 7 carries. You'd like to see a bit more than little over 3 per carry, but it's his first game. He's still probably learning the system. This isn't like, oh no, Najee Harris is a bust. This is, you'd like to see a bit more, but you aren't, if you're a Steelers fan, I wouldn't get too worried that Najee Harris busts out, but you'd like to see a bit more with when you have Van Der Esch out and when you have so many starters out for Dallas, when you're one of the few starters in, but he still looked decent. He looked fast. He looked like he knew what was going on. Receiving, you got Claypool getting some catches before looking like he got hurt, didn't come back into the game. However, it didn't look like he was too hurt, so that's just something to keep an eye on. Trey Edmonds, probably fighting for a third or fourth spot. You got Smith-Schuster, who didn't play here. Remember, you got Johnson and Johnson and Ray McLeod. Anyone else here other than like the running backs, I wouldn't worry too much about. And Turner had a good day for the Dallas, but he was making the roster anyway. Don't see anyone else who really stands out to me there or stood out to me during the game. Fumbles, Mason Rudolph had one on a failed exchange. Dobbs had one. Johnson had a bad one, a couple bad ones, but it's August 5th. What are you going to expect when you put two teams out there? On defense, the fact that that this is a safety, this is a corner, this is a corner, and this is a corner should really scare you, because if you watch the game, you saw Laney, Pierre, Killebrew, and Mallett. Anyone else hear that? And even Steiner to a point until the very end, and Brooks Jr. All of these guys were getting beat. Now the problem is they had one corner out. So who are you gonna play? Like you weren't going against Amari Cooper and the good receivers of Dallas, and yet Killebrew, Pierre, Lynch, they were still struggling to cover the third and fourth guy. You just don't know who's playing that second corner. And if you want a further detailed, I'll have a link in the description going over my Steelers inside look, where you get to look at how thin they are at corner and how they don't really only have one starting quality corner. Nothing too much. Steiner helped himself by getting an interception. And Harvin, the punter, had a really nice day. He had that one punt that he lucked out by having good coverage. Like he did his job in putting the ball inside the 5, bouncing around, but his coverage helped him out, preventing that ball to bounce into the end zone. He had a nice 51-ish yard punt that was inside the 10. He just had a nice day. We'll see if he can keep that up through the rest of the preseason. If not, he's just protecting the Pittsburgh starting punter from taking all the reps. But anyway, that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching, and good.